Alright, so today we are going to get into Lab 8. Of course, we will go into Chapter 6 next week with Lab 9. So this way we're going to finish up Lab 8 with Chapter 5. So we're going to go up here to the start page. Then, of course, you can open here, or you can open right there on the Quick Access toolbar, which is the very first row right up here. Here you can see this little open, see this? And you can click on it, yeah? And of course, it will take you to the same folder we've been using. And here another one, drop down. We can open the files, open the sheet set, and explore the subject drawings. So right now we're just going to go into the file. Alright. So what you're going to do is you will go to the AutoCAD, yeah? So we'll go back to, let me just go up one level right there. Go back to where I save it. My AutoCAD files are going to be right in here. And this is where the original files are. And this time we are going to choose our .dwg. Okay, so this file right here. And then of course you are going to open that. It will take you to another side. Your C layout, you can go back to the model space right there. Of course, you can do some alignment here and put it center. I like to keep it at the center so I can focus. Of course, we will concentrate on the very first diagram in this our document. So let's do window. Click on it, go to the zoom window, and then of course we will concentrate on this, the very first drawing of this file. And right now go ahead and click escape about 2 times, and it's going to clear all the commands in your command line. It will of course clear everything thereof selected on your canvas. So now we're clear to choose and select whatever we want to choose. We will highlight this dimension line, yes, right here. I accidentally click on it, so just click on this a single time, and you will see all of the blue, right, highlighted along the dimension lines here. So you have your dimension arrow, your value here, and then of course the extension lines right at the end of the dimension arrows right there. Then go to your home tab. So your home tab is already here highlighted, and then of course go panel after another, go all the way down to your properties, which is this panel right here. And then of course you have a little arrow to expand it, yeah, and this is your dialog box. Of course, go ahead and launch that by clicking on it. You can drag, okay, your properties right here, yes, window, by clicking onto this bar. You can do anything if you click on it, okay? So make sure you click on this so you can be able to move around. You can close it if you want to save the space, okay? Here is your properties. Of course, it looks like a little gear. It's just a hidden menu that you can click on it. Alright, right now we have the properties. About this dimension line, we just click, okay? So that's everything about this line. You have your layer here. Dimension is we're on that layer as soon as you click on this, okay? And then of course you have a spacing here, yes. If you want to open it a little bit longer, you can be able to see the whole thing, yes. So if you want to go this side, you can also see, okay. So that's up to you. Of course, we usually put it around here. Yeah? Okay, so we can see the line type scale is going to be 1.000. So anyway, all of the properties are there. And here is a scroll bar. You can go all the way down about this line that we can go in and change whatever we wanted. Okay, so here You have tolerances. See, there's a little drop down. You can close, okay, like that. Of course, you can also go down, yeah, this way. You can open it, so it will open. So that's your collapse and the expand little button right there, yeah, to open each of the tab in this properties window. Of course, the tolerance, we can be able to see it. So tolerance text, your suppress, all right, your position, of course, and precision. So all of them are lined up for you, every tolerance that you need to know, okay? All right, and then you have displays, tolerance, alignment is an operational symbol, okay? And then of course we can go up and you can see the alternate units, yeah, and then of course your primary units. So this is where we check which unit system we're in inches for this drawing, and then of course we are following all of this, okay? You can be able to see this dimension or subdimming is just a short way of calling dimension. And of course your precision is going with 0 to 0, okay, 1 by 16 inches. So that's our precision. Of course we're gonna go up and you can be able to see fit. Yeah, fit is really important in everything that we do drawing. Of course here you are at the best fit automatic, and of course we can go up, and here is everything about your text controls, and then up, and here is your lines and arrows. Yeah, so if you want to change your line, you can go in here and change it very easily. Miss is for miscellaneous, okay? Your dimension style is in standard, okay? So if you click on it, you can change, yeah? So right now we have only one option for this AutoCAD. So here is not a customized version of the AutoCAD. If you customize it, it's going to populate right here, yeah? Because the software company is going to give you everything that you buy for. And then of course annotative, you see this. So each one of them, you can click on it and can be able to choose, okay, all of the options here as you need it, okay? If you don't choose or change, it's going to stay, all right, at the default AutoCAD default. So if in your instruction, okay, please change the arrow size to something, you can go in there and then change it, okay? So right now we're not going to mess up everything here. We're just going to follow the instruction because you are still learning, okay, everything that you need to know about for the basic level drawing with AutoCAD. So anyway, the first one is your general, so where it's showing you the color, yeah, and then of course the layer name, your line type, and then line type scale, and this is all about this line right here, your dimension line, okay? Alright, another thing about is the window. I already showed you this little button to, if you click on it, it's just going to go into auto hide, okay, position. It means if you hover it, it's gonna come back out, yeah? And then if you take away your cursor, it's gonna go away. But if you want to leave it open, all you have to just click on it and it will be left open, so you can be able to see all of the menu inside of this palette, okay? Of course, and here, and this is your close button, yes, right here. So if you click this, it's gonna just close this window for you, just like your regular window here. If I click this, it will close away. And of course, this is where you snap it, okay, to move from one place to another like that. Okay, let's just close this out. But if you want to open it, you can open it from here, or you can also right click and go all the way down to properties to call that back up here. Of course, we usually pay attention to the very first, which is your general, yeah. Tap right there, you can close it like that. Of course, here is a rotated dimension. It's just telling you where we click on it, which is this guy right there. And of course, the general box will give you from color all the way to the associative. And we usually go by layer. This is called by layer, meaning like we're going from layer to layer, and then right now we are on the dimension layer. So if you click on it, you can be able to see it. Of course, there is one student talking about you have to click on the double click on it, saying it's not true. It's just like you can just click on it one time and it will go. If you double click, it's the same thing anyway. It doesn't really matter. But what I want to tell you is just going with by layer. Okay, you will go by layer for the color. And right now we're on the dimension layer, and we can be able to see that. And that will cause your line type so and so all the way down. Alright, then we are going to select another one. So this time we just follow your textbook, and we are going to select this line. So we have selected two different layers. So as soon as you do that, the layer disappears. See, so we were on this dimension layer before with red line, and then we chose something white. So we jump to the object line, so object layer. So you can see how the properties window, changes everything. All of the properties just disappear about that layer, which is on the dimension layer. The red layer right here is gone. So right now it's just showing you the common properties for both of these layers. So the first is your dimension, the second one is a white layer, which is your object layer. So here you can see the layer. See, this layer box changes to varies. So it means that you're dealing with 2 to 3 different, of course, layers were selected, and you can be able to check that. Alright, so now we are going to escape out of it. So escape out of that, and we go back to the object layer, which is this guy over. Yes, right there. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the other side. Okay, so let's just pan it to here, and we're just gonna put this two little guys right in front of our eyes like this. Okay, then we can move this to the side. So here we have two guys under this trellis. So this is an arch trellis right there, and of course we will go ahead and select this guy. All of it. You can either scan and select, or you can click each one of them. So that's up to you, whichever way you want to go. I'm just going to select each one of them, okay, so we can be able to see what's going on for all of that. And you can see your properties window. See that all of this, the property windows, they change. And so right now we are on the reference layer, which is a green layer right there. Okay, so where these silhouettes are right on that layer, on the green layer. And then of course the layer name is reference. Okay, so the reference layer color is green. For it, there's the two little guys under that gate. Okay, so we already know that, and of course we can override it. So right here in this property window, all we have to do is just go in there and then click on this little one, and then of course we will follow the textbook. It's telling you to change it to magenta, and we can change it like this. So now the green mans are now the magenta guys right in there. But the only thing that you need to understand is your reference layer original color is still green. It is still green, and it isn't magenta. We're just overriding it meaning we're just putting the color, right above the green color on these objects right here that we draw. Okay, so therefore your layer color won't change. Okay, only the overwritten color on this bullets is going to be magenta. Yeah, so make sure that you understand that. Of course, the overwritten color usually show up in the properties. So when you look at the Home tab and you go all the way down to properties, you're gonna see, look at this, where the magenta color show up. Of course, you can go back to the color before, So this is going with the layer. So if you go with the layer, it will definitely, give you the green color, like that. Of course, I forget to scan. I forgot to click one of them here. I forgot to click one of the little tiny lines, so I just overrode that. Okay, and of course, we can be able to see the previous layer. So when you go by layer, you can be able to see the true color of that reference layer, which is the green right in here. Okay, so let's just put this back to by layer, which is this. So right now we go back to the original layer color, which is the green one. All right, so once you finish it, escape out of that. So let's go escape, okay, to go back to what it was before. And then of course you can go ahead and save it right here. All right, now we will close this window. And of course, we will continue to do the next exercise. You will go to Home tab and then go to Layer Panel, which is here. And then of course your layer properties is going to be right here, and just go ahead and click on it. So now we have opened up this layer window. So this is your layer property manager, okay? Is this guy right there. The same thing, your auto high is going to be right here. If you accidentally click on it, you have to hover or open back up to see this window. Okay, right now we are going to add a new layer. So that's a review of your lab 2. So right here, okay, this is going to make the selected layer very current. And then of course this little one with the plus yellow arrow is going to create a new layer. So if you hover it, you can see new layer. Your shortcut is Alt and then N for new. And then of course you have this new layer, okay, present in all viewports. And then this one is you can delete it, and Alt D. And then this one is again you can be able to select it. Okay, so this is a set this current, and you can also use this Alt, okay, C, Alt C. It's just a selected layer, so we just set the select layer for that. What we're gonna right now in this exercise is to create, okay, a new layer. So go ahead and click that. Now a new layer, and of course a default layer 1 is gonna pop out here in your window. Okay, and of course you will click on it, erase this, go back, okay, and delete, and then of course you can type in great. Okay, so we have just created a new layer and we name it great. Okay, that's your great layer. Color, let's see, default is always white, and of course some version of your AutoCAD will show black. It's okay, and go ahead and click on it. Your select color window is gonna pop out here, and what you're gonna do is we are going to choose 15. So color 15, you go down and then 1, 2, of course, so this is your color 15, the third row in the second palette. so just click on it. The color number is 15. Okay, so you can be able to see it, and you can be able to see color in this little square window right here. Okay, so after we have selected the color as per instruction, we will click OK to set it. So right now we have the grade, and then of course we have given the color number 15 to the grade layer. Alright, once we finish it, we're gonna close this. Then we will go back to the home layers and then go to this layer selection, drop down right here, and we can be able to see what we have just created, which is your grade layer is right there, and click on that. Then we will go to zoom extent to see all of the diagrams are right in our drawings. So now we have all 4. Okay, now we will select the lines in this drawing. He will select this line, which is the ground. Okay, so just choose the line, below each of that view. The first one here and the second one is going to be right here, and then the third one is going to be right here. And you can see automatically, your reference layer is going to pop out. So it has changed from the grade layer to reference by we click on this reference layer objects right there, which is 3 line, 1, 2, and then of course 3. Then we are going to assign, grade layer back onto it. So go ahead and click grade. So now grade layer is now on these lines. We're just taking the lines from the reference layer and then putting the 3 lines onto the grade layer. So you have that many layers in this drawing. So what we just done is putting some of the object to another layer. So these objects were on the reference layer, and now we move all of them by selecting it. So as we selected this first line, second line, and then third line, and then we put it onto this layer. After we have changed the layer, go ahead and press escape about 2 times. So now we're out of it. So see, the green color has now changed to color number 15. See all of this. Alright, go ahead and save it. Now you will do the same thing. You will call your Word, Microsoft Word document, open it, make a new document, and then of course you're going to title it Lab 6, and then save it and put it onto wherever you want to put it. Right now I'm just going to throw it on my desktop, and then of course it is actually Lab 8 right now. I made a mistake right there. So anyway, save it as a Lab 8. And then I'm just going to correct my mistake. This is Lab 8, for AutoCAD. So you can write in your credential here, like MET 101. And then, of course, your section is going to be, I think, 105. Or the online people, please do 205, okay? And, of course, you can put your name on here. And then give me your name there. Of course, you can decorate if you want to divide your name and your section like that. Okay. Right now, I'm just gonna give my last name here for your Lab 8. Okay. So we will save that, and you are going to call a snipping tool. So take your snipping tool out, and then of course take the picture of that. Okay, just scan it. Okay, and then of course we will stick it here right into there, showing the change. Color 15 lines. Alright, then we will go into the next exercise. So let's go to Home tab again, and then go all the way down to Layers panel, And of course you have your layer drop down menu right here, and click on it and it will give you your layer list right there. And we will go all the way to the dimension layer. So click on it with a little red color. Then we are going to click on this. Okay, so let me open it a little bit bigger so you can see it. So we are going to click on this little freeze or thaw, okay, all viewport, which is a little light bulb. There's a light bulb and there's we call this a sun. So click on that and we are going to just go ahead and freeze it. And it's telling you this layer cannot be frozen because it is the current layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to change back. Okay, so this is what your textbook is not showing you. So go back to the upper layer and then go down and go to the dimension, and then of course just freeze it. Okay, so the sun is now going to change into a little snowflake, okay, kind of icon. And of course you can be able to see, look at that, all of this, your drawing, look at this, all these views, all of them are now frozen except this two guys under the trellis. Okay, now let's put the grade, okay, layer right up there. Escape out of it to cut this string on the plus sign, of course, and then what we're gonna do, okay, is to go to the next layer, and that layer is your outer layer, and this time we are going to click on the padlock. So right here is your padlock and click on it. So right now open lock is now totally closed. Okay, so you can be able to see we just lock it. So it means that these objects on the upper layer is now locked and it cannot be selected. So if we lock it, you can't be able to select any of the drawing features on that view anymore. Okay, they're all locked. This guy, we show you how to freeze, how to freeze it, and everything is frozen, right at this, of course, on the dimensions, we freeze it. For the upper layer, we lock it so you can select it. When you freeze it, the freezing layer with the objects on them, you usually freeze it when you don't need them. Okay, so why do we do that? We just want to declutter the drawing space. So if you freeze it, all of the dimensions are gone, so you can be able to concentrate on other objects in your drawings. Now we will go to the home tab, and then of course go to modify panel here, and then go to your erase icon, which is your pencil butt, okay, right there. Click on that. Make sure you click on it, so it will go into the little square cursor. If you don't get the square cursor, it means that you're not in the erase mode. So make sure you are in the erase mode by checking your cursor. It shouldn't be plus, it should be a little square cursor at your mouse. Okay, alright, and then go ahead and select the objects. I'm going to show you, like, you are going to click your first point around here, and then your second point, of course, you go down and put it all the way here. So we just erase our guys right in there. Of course, you can press enter. So now all of your guys are gone, under the trellis. Alright, then we are going to put that two guys back in. So go ahead and undo your erase command by clicking on it. Alright, now we will put back all of the stuff we just set. So go back to your upper, and then of course unlock it. Go back to dimension layer and then thaw it. So all of your dimensions are going to come back up. And of course we use this technique, freezing and locking, if we want to declutter the dimension lines and we want to concentrate something, either to erase or trim or do something join, disjoin. So we usually freeze some of the unnecessary stuff on our drawing, okay, in that way. And then of course we will save it, okay. What I want you to do is make sure you do it a second time, and then of course you are going to give me a screenshot, so when you're doing that. So your screenshot should include this, so we freeze it and then of course lock it, and you can do print screen, on your or I can just go here, and then of course you can open it. Some of the computer has a print screen, on it. I'm trying to call it here and see if we can be able to do it when this is dropped on. Probably a ship print screen, and it is going to show up. And we don't need this snip in two because we did a print screen right there. So call paint, okay, P-A-I-N-T. So here is another application that we can, and then of course I'll do Control V. No, right now, sorry, Control Z again and clear it where we don't have. I think this office computer is not very good, okay. So what we want to do is take a picture of that, and I am trying to, okay, do that, but it is locking my screen right there, so probably it doesn't really like it. Yeah, it's somehow locking it, so let me see if it's going to go in. So it doesn't go in. All right, so we can do it. So anyway, so just don't save it here. So what we're gonna do is just erase it, so we do the erase and go ahead and erase this, and then enter, of course. So let's just take the screenshot of that as a proof, okay, for the freeze and lock exercise, and make sure you put it in your lab 8 second. Control V and save it, of course, in your Word, and that is going to prove everything. And then of course you can go and bring that paper bag, under the trellis. All right, then we are going to go into a new exercise, and what we're going to do is go to the quick access toolbar here and then click new, which is this guy, okay. Just click on it, and of course it's gonna open the template. So if you don't have a template, make sure you go to this template by clicking onto it, so you should go to here. Of course I put it into the user is you, and then go update local, and then Autodesk, and then AutoCAD 2026 R 25.1 English, universal, so ENU, and then your template. It's going to take you that directory, and then we are going to choose a template, which is AutoCAD, which is this guy. All right, and click on that, and then of course you will click open here when you get the correct template. Open it. So this is our other, and this one, okay, is going to be your drawing. Of course after you do your screenshot stuff, make sure you thaw, and then of course open this lock again, so it goes back to the original. All right, and then come back to recently open ACAD.dwt drawing template file. Alright, since we're using a template, okay, we are just going to go ahead and do save as, Yeah, save as is this one and open it and go to your lab, which is, for me, I put them into here, and then of course I am going to name lab, okay, 8, and of course I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right in there. Yeah. You can name it line types, yeah, because that's our line type exercise. linetypes, and then save it. So that way you don't mess up your original AutoCAD file right there. Alright, once we finish it, we're gonna check on the grid. So go to our status bar. Yeah, so the status bar is right here. And then of course we will take a look at the grid, which is this guy right next to model. Tap at the status bar. So this is your grid. Your quick access is F7 for the grid. And make sure your button should be highlighted blue. Okay. And you can be able to see the grid. So the grid display in the background, you can remove it by click on it. See, if you click on it, your highlighted blue color will go away, and then of course your grid background will go away. So right now, just go ahead and remove your grid lines. Alright, we will go to the home and then go to the properties. Okay, and of course you have a line type, you have by layer, you have which is this, okay, little icon. You can be able to see it. Okay, so when you look at it carefully, look at it. Line type is here, showing you different line types, and this is weight. That's why you're seeing very little tiny thin line and then thick line. Yeah, so just by looking at the icon, you can be able to say which one is what. But they're all going by layer. I always think of by layer, color by layer, line weight by layer, and then line types, we set them up by layer. Okay, of course it has a drop down. See, look at that. So drop down menu that you can see. Right now we're just gonna go ahead and open the line type manager. So the line type manager window will open up, and of course we have already done this one time in lab 2. And if you're cheating and you're not doing your work, make sure you do it again, yes, until you actually get it. Of course here we have details, is completely expanded. You can hide it like that too if you want to make it the same as your textbook. Okay, and of course here is where we used to load the lines, and click on it. It's going to open up the load or reload line types. Okay, and this window is going to open up for you when you click on this. Okay, load, tap here in your line type manager window. Of course we can go in here and you can scroll down. You can scroll down. They are in alphabetical order, so make sure you go all the way down to H. And we before we go to H, let's do the center first. So center, hidden, and phantoms are the lines that we need for this exercise. So we will choose the center. We have, of course, a small spacing center line, and we also have like a double spacing center line. This is half down and this is twice, double up. Click Ctrl key on your keyboard and then go down, scroll it down and choose H for hidden. So make sure you choose the H for hidden. And of course you can go down and then choose a phantom, okay, line for that. And click OK. So now we just load it. Yeah, your hidden phantom and the centers will go into the default. Of course, your default is always a continuous. And you can be able to see how the line is going to look like. Center looks like this. Phantom looks like that. And then, of course, the hidden looks like this. Okay. And once you finish it, give me a screenshot of that. Yeah, so let's go here. And then we have loaded the line and put it into your Lab 8 screenshot. And then, of course, save it. Okay. All right, so once we get that, we are going to click OK. Yeah. And then you will go to your quick access toolbar and then save it here. All right, once we finish that, we will move on to the next exercise. You can skip putting the line type file and save it into the document folder. We don't need it because you already have your own folder. For me, I put it into my AutoCAD Lab folder. For you, whichever folder that you want to put in, as long as you don't save back onto the original AutoCAD file, it's okay. All right. So let's do the next exercise. Okay. Now we are going to be on the line type drawing, which is your DWG file right in here. Of course, we will go to the layer, and click on the layer properties. And we are going to create 3 layers. So go click 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the first layer, you are going to name it center, CENTER. The second layer, you are going to name it hidden, HIDDEN. And of course, the third layer, you are going to name it PHANTOM. Okay, and save it. Then we are going to change the color. For the center, go to your center layer and then click on the color and change it to color number 3, which is green, and press OK. Then we will go to hidden layer. We will go to color and we are going to give it color number 5, which is blue, and click OK. And then we will go to phantom layer. We will go to color, and of course just go to color number 6, which is your magenta thingy right there. So click OK. Do not do anything on this continuous line, just leave them at a continuous line. And then go ahead and hide this, move it over there. We are going to now go to home tab, and then of course we are going to draw 3 horizontal lines. You can do the F8. Okay, so click on the F8 here, okay, and then just go ahead and draw 3 unit far away. Okay, do that line. It's gonna come out a little bit small because of the canvas, so you can also, of course, zoom window it a little bit, Yeah, so it will grow. You can zoom in too if you want, so we can make it a little bit bigger so we can see that. Yeah, about this size is a-okay. So that's your 3 units line. Of course, we want to go about 1 unit, so let's just gauge it around here. Yeah, and do the same thing. Okay, so let's just go draw 3 units here. Yes, and that will also do next line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, we're just gauging it. So here I take about this much. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go and of course choose about this much. Okay, so that way we can be able to gauge it a little bit of that, and then of course draw 3 unit, type 3 and then enter, and escape out of it. Sorry, I went into the wrong one. So basically we're just drawing 3 lines, horizontal lines. Yeah, they're parallel to each other, so don't forget to use the F8. And we did 3 units for each one of them. It doesn't have to be perfect, just line it up, and they're all parallel, and they're about a unit away, yeah, from each other. And then of course we can zoom, extend it. Now we have 3 lines, and that's too big, so just make it adjust it to your eyesight right there. Then we are going to assign the layer. Yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and select the very first line, and we're just going to give it green, yeah, for the center. And then of course second one we are going to give blue, and then the third one we are going to give it magenta. So we just assign the layer. Yeah, then we will open our layer property, okay, manager window. And then of course we will go to our center layer, which is a green one, and click on this line type, yes, right in there, and we will change it to the center line. Okay, and then press of course okay. Since we're in the zoom mode, you will see a very giant line like that, and it's a-okay. Then go to your hidden, and then of course we are going to do the same thing. You will go to hidden, click on the line type, and give it dash line, and you will see the dash line will show up here. So let's just put it on this side so you can see it. And of course we will go into the very last line, which is going to be this one. Okay, and click it on to continuous, and we are going to give it a phantom line like this. Okay, once you finish it, click auto hide right in here and save it. Call your snipping tool, and then take a screenshot of that, enter, Control V, and save your Word document right in there. You have to do this exercise, so snipping tool, paint, these are what we use all the time in drawing. You will have to copy paste all your pictures like that and save it in Word or a document, okay, a software of some sort. Alright, of course then click save here on your AutoCAD. Now we are going to zoom out of it, so go ahead and zoom out then you can of course use your hand and then move it to here to make some space. Okay, right there. Of course, if you want to zoom a little more, that's okay too. Yeah, so you can move it. And of course, at this time, I'll go ahead and copy. So we will go to Home tab and then copy, and make sure you are in the copy mode right there. And then of course we are going to copy this whole thing and then press enter and then grab, okay, and then copy 2 times and escape out of it. We have already done the copy all of this modifying panel, so make sure you practice them so you can move fast. And do your snipping thingy again. Snip it, capture, and then put into your Word document. Enter, go to the next line, Control V, and please save it. So now you have 3. Yeah, so this is just evidence that you have successfully copied the 3 lines with the correct line types. Then we are going to do a little bit of a zoom extend, okay, to make it a little bit bigger. And then of course I usually like to reduce just a little bit. Okay, and of course you can move it. Then all the way to your Home tab, go to your properties, yeah, panel, and of course you can click on the by layer, not the color. Of course you can be able to click on the line types, yeah, and go all the way to other. Yeah, it will take you back to your line type manager window. Okay, and go ahead and click on show details, and it will show you the details, yeah, right underneath of your line type by layer window, which is line type by layer window is this one. When I say line type by layer, we're talking about this, not English by layer. It's just the name, the term, technical term is by layer window. All right, and of course we want to bump it up to 2. Default is usually 1, then we will bump it up to 2, and then of course click OK. Yeah. So when you click OK, you will see, yeah, the center line got fused. Your phantom line got fused out. And that's because we are at the global scale factor 2.0. Okay. Alright, then we will introduce a new command. And your new command, you will go to the command line right in there, and then go and type in ITS, okay, and then C, okay, and A, and then L, and then E. Okay, so if you type in like that, you can be able to see the IT scale, okay, right there. Okay, sorry, I had to go and answer the door. Oh, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we're doing the LT scale. Yeah, so go ahead and do LT scale and click on that. Yes. And of course, we can go back to, I think we were at 1 before. Yeah, so now your line type is gonna change. Yeah, back to what it was before. Where were we? Okay, so this is, yeah, original 1. Give me the global 2. Yeah, global 2 is LTSC SCALE scale, and then go there and then give me 2. Yeah, so go back into, and then of course we need to screenshot this before we go so far. So go ahead and screenshot that. And of course the second one is your global scale 2, and this is global scale 1. Okay, so they are very, very different in your scale. Now we will go back to our textbook instruction. I don't know where I am right now. Yes, so do again LTSCALE. Yeah, go in there, and we will move back to 1, I believe. Yes. Okay, and then of course we will select the very first group, yeah, which is this guy. Make sure you save it here, and then of course select this line, and then that, and then this, and then close your layer, and then go to your properties, yeah, and open that properties window. Now we selected the very first group, and go all the way to the line type, yeah. So we have here you can go to the line type, which is this guy right there, and of course we can go to the scale, yeah, so which is this second line in your line type. So we have only two line type. The first one is the layer, and the second one is the scale. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce it half, yeah, so go half in the line type scale. See how the scale changes from 1 to 0.5. So you should see these line types are now scaled down half, 50% of your global scale, okay? And then we're going to deselect by clicking escape out of it, yeah, so go in there and click escape. So now we go back to the drawing canvas right here. All right, now what you're gonna do is you do the same thing and go to the second group. Second group is already at 1, yeah, so therefore we don't have to do it. The third group, of course, we are going to make it 2. Okay, so click on that, click on this, go to the scale, and then change it, of course, to right there. Yeah, and go on here and deselect, click escape here, yeah, it will escape out of it. So now we have, this is a line type scale 0.5, line type scale 1.0, and then line type scale 2.0. And give me a screenshot of that. So we'll do another screenshot. Alright, and put it in your note Word document here, okay? So when I open and check your homework, I should see this. If I didn't, then you have to redo, okay? And go ahead and save it. Then we'll move on to the next exercise, and do not forget to save your Word document, okay? Don't forget to save every document that you're working on, not only AutoCAD. All right, we'll move on to the next exercise. And the next exercise is asking you to go to the Home tab and then go to the Properties panel right here, and then go to your line weight, which is the second row. Okay, and here you can see the weight with the little icon. And of course, go to your line weight settings window, and a little window, yeah, line weight settings is going to open up. And what you're going to do is go ahead and check your display line weight right there, and of course make sure you're at the by layer, yeah, and we want a 0.25 millimeters for the default. We got to be in millimeters for now, and then press OK. Then go to your layer properties. So I don't have to read it out loud for you again. You know, layer properties, you already know, home, and then go all the way to the layers panel, and then layer properties is right here. So make sure you move, okay, fast for that. So now we have this layer and property managers, and we will of course go to the line weight, yeah, column. What we want to use is, actually I'm on the wrong drawing. We have to go actually on this side, yeah, so let me go ahead and close this and go here to Arbor. Yeah, we're done with the line weights. So go to the Arbor document, and we do the same thing and bring out your layer properties, and you're gonna get back to the Arbor document layers right there. And of course go, yeah, to the reference layer, and your reference layer is right here. And what we're gonna do with the reference layer is to go into the line weight. Yeah, so your color here, line type is here, and then your line weight is there. So click on it. Yeah, and of course, so what you want to do is, so we want to go and bump it up to 0.3. So right now at default, so we'll go to 0.3 and okay, click on it. And then of course, so after you click on it, make sure you click OK. Yeah. Okay, so since we change the reference layer, so your reference layer is right here. Yeah, so if you open it, you can be able to see that we give so we give this reference layer. Yeah, line weight is now thickened from default to 0.3 millimeters. Yeah, which is this green layer right here with the man right there, two men right in there. Not man, I mean, two people right in there. And then of course, we can play with the line weight. This is your show high line weight. Okay, if you turn this one on, it will show the thickness of that line. Yeah, so which is 3, which is 0.30 millimeters, and we can turn it on. Of course, you can also turn it off and go back to the default. So that's up to you. Yeah, so right now let's turn that on because we need to take a picture of that. So go to your snipping tool and then give me 0.3 millimeter, gotta be in there, and your two people thickened two people, it should be in there, and then of course Control V in here, and I'll save your document. You also have a control we already show you 1,000 times here in your lab 1. And here's the 3 little menu bar right there, and you can see this line. I can turn it off. Yeah, so you can turn it off. If you turn it off, your icon will go away. If you turn it on, your icon will come back. Yeah, you can be able to see this line weight icon right there. Alright, so once you finish it, go ahead and close this, and then go ahead and save this. Alright, so that concluded lab 8. Command, we have practice color. Yeah, so you can type in COLOR color. Yeah, it will go straight into the select color window. So these are all your shortcut layers, LAYER. Okay, you can manage your layers, your layer property. Okay, I accidentally close it, so let me just call it again. And if you click on the layer, it will go into your layer. Yes, instead of going with the mouse one by one, you can call it really quick like this. Of course, you can call your line type. So if you go line type, it's going to go into the line type manager. We have a detail, and then we have a regular line type by layer right in there. Yeah, so when I say by layer, some of the technician, I don't know, and some of the people from the outside, older student don't understand, but I think they're using the older version of the AutoCAD, but we call this all the time by layer. Yeah, anyway, and then your LT scale, so you go LTSCALE. Sorry, I accidentally click the information button. So LT scale, so if you click on it, it will go into the LT scale, and you can be able to change from 1 right to, you can also do with the select and then go into the properties, a window, and change manually with your cursor. And then of course we can go into line weight, LWEI, and then of course a GHT is going to give you the line weight. Yeah, make sure you click the display line weight. If you do not click on it, it won't display. Okay, alright, then the last one is match. Yeah, match properties, MATCH, and then prop, which this guy. Yeah, so if you click on it, it will definitely go into the match property. You can be able to apply the properties of your selected object to the other object. Yeah, so just a change in we already practiced it manually for that. And then of course you can go back into the properties window like this. Okay, if you want to match the property, you select. So if you select the different layers, you will be matching, yeah, so giving you the common general, properties, the property that match to your objects in different layers will show up here if you click on it. So make sure you practice and all of that. For Lab 8, we are playing with the layers. We're playing with the properties, okay, which is this guy and then that guy. Your layer properties here, your match property here, they're very, very different. Yeah, I can show you a different window, okay, like this. So if you click on the match property, it will go into here. See the command. And of course, I'm just going to go and escape out right now for you. If you go to the layer properties, you can also click, okay, right click, and you can be able to get to the correct place like that. So there are many ways to, of course, go in many different way that you can use your mouse, or you can use a right click. You can use a command line, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and close this one. Yeah, so anyway, so that's the end of your Lab 8.